Hello and welcome to the Money Mindset Show, the place where we help female entrepreneurs to transform their mind so that they can achieve financial success in the least amount of time. Here, we talk about subconscious mind, we talk about money mindset shifts, money mindset blocks, a strategy so that you can bypass your own money mindset and increase your income, better your relationship with money, and grow your business. Welcome, Nmasichi, to this podcast. Today, we are going to talk about another magical business owner, Black business owner on this podcast series where we are highlighting everything that we are doing as a Black business owners.
Oh, thank you so much for having me here. First of all, it's very exciting and it's an honor to be here. My name is Nmasichi Chinenye and I am originally from Nigeria. And I moved to the US when I was a teenager. I came here to school and just kind of like stayed back. And I started my business. I have been doing my business on the side about 4 or 5 years ago. But then I officially incorporated it this year. So my first business, Massive Brands. It's Massive Brands LLC. It's a digital branding agency, and our main services are web design, mobile app development, graphics design, and social media management. And my second business, which is very close to my heart, is called Tribes and History. And it's a digital storytelling platform where we tell African stories. So kind of like African history, tales, legends, just kind of like think about in the future, we're trying to get it to a point where it's like the dark comics and just think about Marvel. Yes. For Africa.
I like it.
I know.
Why did you decide to start this one in particular?
Tribes and History?
Yeah.
Tribes and History was basically, so I don't know if you're spiritual or not. I am spiritual.
I am.
That's amazing. And believe it or not, it came to me in a vision. It came to November 2020, November 28th, 2020. I was sleeping. I just saw it. I was like, oh my God, like we don't have a platform. We don't have African comics. We don't really have that. And the few that we have, it's not really amplified. Nobody really knows about it. Growing up, I read some comics. I read Archie. I don't know if you know about Archie.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Archie, Jughead, Veronica. I read that a lot and I loved it. But growing up, I didn't really see any comic that was, geared towards African history or African tales or the myths, the in Africa. There was just really nothing like that. And I was like, why don't we have that? So yeah, it just came to me in a dream, in a vision. And I was like, I have to start this. Yes. So it's been a long journey, but we're still going. And for Massive Brands, the reason I started that was just because I love designing websites. I just absolutely love it. And I also love managing social media. And I used to do it for my friends for free. And then I was like, I can actually get paid for this. And that was why I started it. And the main reason I actually started my business, since I was young, I have always known that I was going to be a business owner. It's very interesting how you kind of know, some people know their purpose from when they are little. I began my first business when I was like 8 years old. I was selling cards to kids.
I know. It's so weird. I had the same. I was 6 years old and I was selling candies at my school. So like, when like people try to place you different ways, but I have always been this way. Like instead of me being the kid that we go to buy candies, I would say, hey, I will do it for you. Wait for me tomorrow. I will bring the chocolate. So I can completely relate to that.
Yeah. And that is how you know someone that, has an entrepreneurial mindset. Because for me, I was selling cards when I was 8. And then when I was 10, I had another business with my sister. And then when I was 14, I had a pastry business with my friend who was selling, it's called Chin Chin. It's like a dessert. And we were selling that when I was back home in Nigeria. And it's not even that you kind of need the money, because as at then, I didn't really need the money. I had
Right.
everything provided for me. It was just that whole thing of, I want to make my own money. I want to do my own thing and make my own money. And that was basically how, I started. And I've always known that I was going to be a business owner.
Yes. So looking through the entrepreneurial side of these two businesses, how long have you have your businesses for? 2022, so 2 years. The storytelling
No, I've had it since 2020. So
since
November.
2020. Okay.
November.
Okay. So 4 years. And the websites and the social media also for four years.
Yes, about 4 years on the side, doing it with my corporate job, and
Yeah.
then
And
doing
then you
corporate
incorporate it
events
now. Yeah. Okay.
this year.
Got it. Because in all of these years, you have gathered a lot of, experiences, let's put it that way, as of what is to be a Black owner, a Black founder, a Black person that stands up and say, hey, I am going to do my thing. I want to talk about what are some of the challenges that you have encountered by just being that.
By just being a business owner.
Exactly. A Black business owner.
Yeah. Well, some of my challenges is funding. I think that's very basic for a lot of business owners. Um, because the thing with business is no one is going to believe you. Let's just be honest.
Mm,
Like at the very beginning, there's gonna be a lot of naysayers. No one is going to believe you can do this. No one wants to gamble with their money because that's technically what it is.
mm,
So, it's been a lot of bootstrapping for me. So I've like basically bootstraps the two of them. I recently got into applying for grants, so hopefully I win some of those.
yeah.
So funding has been one of the problems or challenges that I have faced. The other thing that I have faced is loneliness.
Mm,
Uh,
yep.
business owner, it can be very lonely because you're like on a different path
Mm-hmm.
than everyone else. You see some of your friends that you guys, maybe went to college with and got into the corporate world with, and maybe you see them getting promoted to, I don't know, maybe senior software engineer or something, and you're like, oh God, maybe I should have stayed.
On this Black Business Own Month, we are highlighting the story of amazing Black female entrepreneurs, business owners that are putting their services, their product, their innovations out there because Black women and people of color need more platforms to share the amazing creations that we all are doing. That's why throughout this month, you're going to hear the stories that Black female entrepreneurs building things that I couldn't even imagine it was possible. And here's how you can support all of these female entrepreneurs. Make sure that for each episode that you listen to, you share with somebody else. You share with that friend, that colleague, that person that you think it may be at interest of. And this is the most important part. We really appreciate that you go and rate and review this podcast. The more reviews and the more rating that we have, the bigger impact we can make. More people is going to know about this podcast. More people is going to hear about this female founder. The FOMO kicking in. Right.
So yeah, that has been a challenge, the loneliness aspect of it. And, nobody really understands what you're going through because they can't really relate, which
Yeah.
is not their fault because they're not doing the same thing with you. Another thing also is mentorship.
Mm-hmm.
I currently have a business coach, but mentorship is also something that, at least for me, it's one of the challenges that I have faced in business. I haven't really had like a mentor, like, oh, okay, do this way. Oh, I have done this before and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work, right? My business coach, she's amazing. But again, there are still sometimes you want to like get different points of views.
Right.
So yeah, mentorship is also something that I've found to be a challenge.
Yes. And I completely agree with you. Also, something that others that have come already for this series have mentioned is community. Community, and I think mentorship, community, funding, those are the topics that we see recurring coming over and over and over. And it goes into a deeper layer in my perspective as a finance professional, which is the education that we get as an entrepreneur. Where is it? Because it's like the education to run the business, the education on how to get the money, the funding, and the community that provides that. Because like you said, we have a community if we are working 9 to 5. You have your coworkers, you have your, like the environment. When we are running businesses, where is that community, right? And what is that community of BIPOC, of Black people, of brown people that we can all relate and some levels of those, beliefs and those ideas. I was just talking, you guys heard me talking in the past interview that I did, that I need to take care when I'm planning my business of so many things that have nothing to do with my business, but have everything to do with my family. And if I explain it to somebody else, perhaps, a Caucasian, one of my good, very good white friends, they completely tell me like, what the hell are you talking about, Alejandra? Like, why do you need to care? When I find a community that understands that and I don't have to explain, things become much easier for me to move.
Being a Nigerian, because I think the experience is different if you're like an American born here and
Yeah.
you're an immigrant, right? So with being a Nigerian, I haven't really had much community that are entrepreneurs.
Mm.
Nigerians, they're very hardworking people, but a lot of us are like, you know, nurses or in the tech world. A lot of Nigerians are either like in the medical field or in the
Yeah.
tech world.
Yeah.
I haven't really seen a lot that are in business. And when I see the few that are in business, it's just kind of like maybe like a family owned business. Like it's just
Mm.
trying to figure out how to phrase that. It's not really like, oh, I want to expand and do this. It's just like a very tiny business that they are
Yeah.
running by themselves.
Yeah.
It's not really like a community of entrepreneurs maybe coming together, figuring out how to get funding. It's not a Nigerian community that are like, business owners that, oh, we're trying to figure out how to get funding. We're giving mentorship to maybe people that are coming into the business world newly. So if I can see something like that, that would be amazing. The closest I've seen to that so far is there's this community in Nigerian. Well, no, it's not really a Nigerian. It's an African community, but a lot of
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, it's an African community, but it's geared towards the professional and the career aspects more as opposed to like business owners.
Yeah.
It is still an amazing community. I have actually met like really amazing people there, and there are awesome business owners there. But the sole purpose of the community is not really for business owners. It's more of like, okay, you come to America as an African immigrant. What do you do next?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And if I can get a community that, it doesn't even only just have to be Nigerian, just African community of business, like actual business owners,
Yeah.
that would be amazing.
I already see it. I love it. But you talk about vision, and I want to get the vision of your business. What is that ultimate vision? How do you see the world changing with this voice, with this storytelling of African tales?
I know it sounds crazy, call me crazy, but the vision is I am thinking about like, when I think about it, right? Like I said, I think about like Marvel, I think about like DC kind of comics, but at the same time too, I think about like in Netflix of like comics and animation for African
Wow.
stories. Like I said, call me crazy. I believe that that is something that is going to, happen. Maybe it's going to happen during my lifetime. Maybe it's not. I don't know. But I just know that this company that I have is going to, it's going to surpass even my imagination. I know it's going to outlive my lifetime. I know it's going to be big. that is the vision that I have for it. And that is also the one that I'm trying to get from
Yes.
before. Tribes and history.
You could.
Tribes and history.
What are the products or services that you do inside of Tribes and History?
So for Tribes and History, we're making our presence on social media known. We have LinkedIn, we have Twitter, we have Instagram. What we're trying to do, the phase that we're in right now, is actually launching our products. And our products right now is we have a trilogy. I'm not sure if I pronounced that correctly, but like the 3-part series of books.
The trilogy.
Yeah, we have the trilogy coming out. We have a trilogy coming out. So if you're interested in that, please sign up.
Wow.
Sign up for that. We have the trilogy of a story that is coming out soon. And we are also currently building our website, which is going to have, that trilogy, which is going to also have other stories. And in addition to, we also take submissions. So, people usually think, oh, it's just our stories. No, we also have so think of, you see the way Netflix has Netflix originals, and then it has other movies that are not really produced by Netflix. Think of it that way. If you have a story that, is African that you want to promote there, that you want to have there, please send submissions our way and we will definitely get back to you.
I love that. Can you let us know where we can download the trilogy that is coming?
Yes. So right now, it's going to be on our website, which is tribesandhistory.com. If you go there right now, I believe it's going to say under construction or something like that. But yes, when it's ready, you guys will be able to see it there.
Okay.
I am going to impute the links on this.
Yes, we're gonna put it on the show notes, so you guys don't have to remember anything. Just look at it in the show notes. But I want to know what this entrepreneurial path and what those businesses mean for you and for your family and for your legacy. Beyond what the great vision that you have, what does this really means to you, your family, and your heritage?
Honestly, being an entrepreneur is something that it's just a part of me. It's something that I cannot do without. I sleep entrepreneurship. I breathe entrepreneurship. I bathe entrepreneurship. I am in the shower. I am thinking. I am sleeping. I am dreaming about my businesses. You might call it an obsession. I agree to an extent it is. But I just love it. For me, entrepreneurship is something that, can make me financially free, that can give my family financial freedom. Because the thing is, corporates is not bad. I'm not in any way, shape, or form. It's amazing because it's actually what even gave me the leg up to be able to go into entrepreneurship, right? However, you cannot be a millionaire. Okay, maybe you can be a millionaire, but you cannot be a multimillionaire or something through corporate. And I'm talking about the average person. I'm not talking about if you're in the C-suite and you're earning, I don't know, 800K or something, right? The thing about business is there is no cap on the profit, right? There's no cap. It's great risk, but it's also great reward. With corporates, you're probably making 100K, which is okay, which is literally the above average, I'll say, for, of people. So that's actually a good salary. However, the thing is, you get promoted. Maybe it's 110K. You get another promotion, it's 120K. Maybe in your lifetime, I don't know, you get promoted 10 times or something. And maybe the max you are able to make would be 250K in your lifetime. That's not really the way it works for business. A business idea that you implement, yes, it could probably take you, I don't know, maybe 10 years before it fully takes off. The thing is, it takes off. It can be greater than you even imagine. It can go from you making, 2K months of profits in your business. I've seen people that are making 20K months. I've seen people that are 100K months, and you're like, oh my God, is there money like this in the universe? You're just like, wow.
It is. They are.
Exactly. So that's what entrepreneurship means for me. And it's also freedom. time freedom, not just money freedom. Because the thing is, if you are able to have that kind of money and you're able to take care of your family, you also have time to be with your family. I want to spend time with my family. I want to, I don't have kids yet, but when I have kids, I want to be able to see my kids grow. I want to be able to
Right.
spend time with like my siblings, with my mom. I want to spend time with people that matter to me. That really, family and friends, it matters to me a lot. And I dislike the fact that in America, we don't even have time for people that matter to us. Yesterday was the 4th of July, and I spent the day like calling a lot of my friends. And one of my friends, I think the last time we talked was, I want to say October or November last year. And I was just like, dang, we are
Sad.
so
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
It's very sad. We're so busy that we have to, keep scheduling and scheduling and scheduling. And the funny thing, we are actually close. It's not like it's just an
Yeah.
acquaintance.
Yeah.
This is actually like a close friend that I love very much. So I think about that. I'm just like, no, I want to have time for people that matter to me.
I love that. I love that. And yes, your life is just like it's the roller coaster that never stops and it's going, going, going. And then the time passes by and then you stop and like, whoa, it's a year already. It's like, wow, it just passes by so fast. Well, this has been amazing, amazing, Masichi, because I am fully on with your vision with both businesses.
Thank
And
you.
yes, it's absolutely amazing. And I will connect you with somebody that just came to mind after this interview. That I think it's going to be perfect to have a connection. But here's what I want people listening to do. First, take everything that we have talked about here and reflect it and say, what is my vision? What I'm working on? What is that identity that you're passing through your business to the whole history? Because that's what you're doing. You're passing through everybody. I mean, the fact that you think Netflix for African culture to say that it's amazing. I'm a Latina. I'm an Afro Latina. A lot of my identity comes from stories of Africa. When the first time, and before I close, I'm just gonna quickly tell you this. The first time I went to Zimbabwe, a lot of our culture in Colombia, in my part of Colombia, comes from Zimbabwe and comes from Ghana and Mozambique. I was
Oh,
like,
wow.
they do exactly the same of what I do at home. They eat exactly the same food that it's just, but you don't know that because you don't know what is happening in the variety of a whole continent. You don't
Yes.
know, like some of the, I remember so vividly, they were eating asatsa, which is corn, just mashed corn. And we in Latin America, we do arepas, which is that same mashed corn, right? But with a different shape. I was like, this is amazing. And we think we invited the whole thing. We didn't. It just came from Africa. It's just like, wow. But we don't know those stories. And for you to capture and say, this is going to be the place that you're going to see like Netflix, but from all of the tales that needs to be told. So people really recognize what is happening in comics. What other better way than comics? It's amazing. I applaud you so much for what you're doing. And thank you so much for being here. It has been my pleasure to spend this little time with you. Please let us know where to find you and keep the conversation.
Yes. So I also create content. I know I didn't like I didn't fully talk about that.
Yes.
Actually I didn't really talk about it, but I also create content. So my Instagram, YouTube, well, no, my LinkedIn is my name. But my Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, basically everywhere. TikTok is Masichi Official. So that's that's without the N. So that's MASICHI space official. So that's where you can find me personally. And then for my business, my digital branding agency, which, like I said, will build websites and mobile apps, it's Massive Brands LLC. So MASI space BRANDS LLC. And that's also our name on literally, I wouldn't say all platforms because we only have LinkedIn and Instagram and
Yeah.
Facebook, I think. But yeah. And then for Tribes and History, it's tribesandhistory.com for our website, which is still under construction. And then Tribes and History everywhere. Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. Yeah.
Love it. And you're going to send me all of those. So we're going to put it all on them show notes if you want to keep the conversation. Okay. But before I let you go, did you know that you have a space where your money mindset work is made extra simple so that you can increase your income, better your relationship with money, and grow your business in such a simple and easy way? Go to themoneymindset.hub.com and choose your path and start making those changes easily and effortlessly. That is themoneymindset.hub.com.